Hey everyone, my name is Luke Graves. I'm the keyboard and piano specialist here at Haggerty's Music Works. Today we are going to be looking at the Studiologic Numa Compact 2. It is a lightweight keyboard targeted towards the beginner and the professional musicians out there looking for a great keyboard that is one, light, but also has enough sounds and different effects for on-stage use. So let's dive into the keyboard itself and the different sounds it has on it. So starting right off the bat, the coolest thing about this keyboard, in my opinion, is going to be the Zone A and the Zone B sound control. So first, on every preset that is in the keyboard that you can adjust yourself or the ones that they already have stored in here, you have two main sounds. You have your Zone A and your Zone B, or the lower and upper. So with this one, right now I just got it set on a basic keyboard or a piano sound. But if I turn the B on as well, now I have piano and strings going on at the same time. You can actually split these two and make strings on the bottom and then keyboard up top. Between these, you can have a multitude of different presets between all the different sounds in here. You can combine any two sounds you want or have it split on the bottom. Maybe you want bass on your left hand and a keyboard or an organ on the right. So there's a bunch of different combinations you can create with it and then actually save it and even rename exactly what you want the preset to be for easy functionality either on stage or at home, just finding the presets that you like and your favorite ones. It's just easy to switch between the two, just right here on the main control, just going on what different sounds you have. So already in the keyboard itself, it has about 40 sounds in the actual keyboard preset all ready for you to go, but you can store about 100 of your own in here and actually overwrite the ones that are already in here. So this keyboard is great, one, because it is light. It's actually about 15 pounds, so great for gigging use, about bringing it around. I know one thing with me as a gigging musician is bringing keyboards around are often very heavy. My professional keyboard that I use on the daily is about 50 pounds, and I'm lugging it around everywhere. It's great to see a keyboard like this that one, sounds great, two, feels great, and is actually, right around 15 pounds. It's super easy to move around and portable. That is why they call it the compact, because it does have these features that you don't typically see on keyboards that are this lightweight. The sounds themselves, it has quite a few different sounds from going from right here on the sound banks profile of the instrument. You can see piano, electric piano, keys, bass/guitar, organ, synth, orchestra, and other. It has drum sets that you can actually play on here as well. I'm not a drummer, but on a keyboard, it's cool to be able to do all these different things for all the different uses for on stage or off stage. So within these different sounds, it actually has its own effects banks as well built into the keyboard, minimizing the use of pedals or external effects racks that you might plug into your keyboard. So again, great for the portability, things like that, moving this keyboard around. On the FX1, we have a drive, a chorus, a phaser, and a flanger. Both either you can set to the upper side of the keyboard if you have it in split function, just so if you have like an overdrive on here, you're not overdriving the strings that might be on your left hand, but you want to overdrive the guitar sound on your right, or you can set it to both, or maybe just the left side. So it's nice to be able to kind of change these effects to what sound is where on the keyboard itself. So just for example, I'll make it, I'll put an overdrive on here on, let's say, a electric piano sound. So I'll turn it up here so you can hear it. You have chorus, which you can change the amount on just right here with a simple knob. Great chorus. Got a phaser, which if you're listening with studio headphones, you can kind of hear it phasing in and out between, the far away and then closer in. It's great to kind of have that small panning within the effects as well. You have the flanger right here, which is, again, just a great sounding effect, especially for just a small compact keyboard like this. Moving on to the effects 2 over here. Again, you have that same control between, allowing you to go between your left hand or your right hand, the upper and lower sounds. So on this one, you might have something like on a, let's say an organ, you have your rotary, which you can change to where it sounds like it's a real rotary on like an actual organ. You have your tremolo effect, which you can change, how much it's actually going in and out. You can have it more subtle. Going between a pan tremolo, which will pan between your left and right side. So again, if you're listening with stereo headphones or speakers, you can hear it kind of going between either your left or your right side. Then we have just a simple delay, which you can hear going, again, farther out depending on how much the amount I have here and how fast it's actually going. Moving on from those effects, we move on to our reverb category, which has a room, a hall, a plate, and a spring. All of which sound really good. Let me get to another concert or acoustic piano here. So I'll turn it up. This is the room sound. I'll turn it up a lot so you can really hear it. So you can hear it keep going and keep going. Here's a hall sound, which is a little bit more intense and a little bit more reverberation. Got a plate here, which you might hear, that simple plate sound that many musicians are looking for. Same with the spring, classic reverb sound. It still goes, but it's shorter, just not as big as maybe a hall or a room. And so it's great. You can have any effects between the 1, 2, and the reverb all going on at once. You could, let's say, a chorus, a pan tremolo, and let's do a plate reverb. So I got all of these going on at once, which, like I've been saying, it's great that you can have multiple effects going on, especially in such a small instrument that's such lightweight. Moving on, right next to the reverb, we just have our EQ control, which just goes through bass and treble. And then also you have just your mastering, and then also just your plain volume knob. So you can adjust really the sounds if you're playing on stage. I know a lot of the times I like to turn my bass really down low on stage when I have a bass player present, just because I always tend to play lower on the instrument, and me and my bass player are always fighting with each other. So it's nice to have just onboard EQ control on your instrument itself and not having to do it outside on a soundboard, things like that. It's just a really great instrument. Moving on from this side of the instrument though, to the left side we have our 2 control sticks, which move in all directions, up and down, X, Y, Z. You get that full movement. So for the stick 1, you have pitch control. So if I press one note here, you can see I'm making it go up or down. On stick 2, you have modulation, which you can hear. It kind of warbles it. I can get to a more concert sound here, and you can hear it just a little bit more. And so you can kind of play with that stick, up and down, kind of changes the volume. Now these are all configurable, so you can make them whatever you'd like. You can actually change it to more an expression feeling to actually change the effects and things like that. It's great that they put that on there, and especially with this keyboard you have MIDI control too, so you can plug it into a laptop, and actually it has an app that can control all these different effects through the actual laptop, and it's a perfect interface just through that app and configuring all the different things. So really it's a great all-in-one keyboard that does so many different things very well for especially the price that it's at. Sitting at about $500, you can get a very lightweight keyboard that can do pretty much everything you want to on stage and off stage at 1, a reasonable cost, and 2, very portable. I know it'd be great to have one of these things just to be able to set up and plug in and just, get going right away. So it's a fantastic keyboard for both the beginner, wanting to get in keyboard and have these different controls, but also just, for the professional use of gigging and being able to just move it around very, very easily. That is the Studiologic Numa Compact 2. It's a great keyboard for beginner and professional use. It's portable, it's affordable, It's just an all-around great keyboard. Thank you guys for sticking around and watching this video. Feel free to check out any of our other stuff. If you have any other questions, feel free to call into the store or come on in. Thanks for watching.